I'm in the middle of a like 2 week long ish house sitting. The dog is very confused about what I'm doing right now, and I forgot my usual tripod at home. So the only way I can get in frame is to stand all the way back here. But that's fine. And you know why? Because I brought work with me that I still need to get done. And that work is alterations. Why, you might ask? As much as I love these one size fits most harem renfaire pants, because they are quite comfortable and they're great when the weather's hot, they're way too baggy on my legs. And I have a couple of pairs that, as much as I like to wear them, I end up tripping over my own pants sometimes when I'm working, depending on the shoes that I'm wearing. So I packed some of the pants and I brought my sewing supplies. And I think my goal, because I also want to hide the alteration and make it not permanent just in case I need to fix it later, I think I'm going to do like a fake. I'm going to turn them inside out, tuck in the inseam area and like along the legs, and do a fake seam, like hem it up a little bit on the inside, shorten it up, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. I'm going to try and take some of the bagginess out on the inside of the pants, you know, in between my legs. I didn't know how else to say it that wasn't going to sound awkward. I can hide the seam in there. They will not be baggy. If it doesn't work, I can seam rip it and I will not have cut the fabric, so it won't matter. And we'll see if it works. So I haven't sewn them yet. I haven't taken them in too far either. I kind of just followed the straight lines of the pattern that already exists as a rough guide of where I might want to trim it up. And I feel like they definitely look very baggy still. I just feel like there's not that much of a difference while I'm actually wearing them. So now I'm wondering if I should. No, I don't. So there's no seam on the outside, and I'm trying to avoid adding one because that's going to end up messing up the waist because the waist is drawstring and I don't really feel like redoing the channel that the drawstring goes through. I could, I just really don't want to. So I might actually take this in even further, and depending on how that looks, I think that's going to be my final attempt. Do as I say, not as I do, please. I'm totally being a hypocrite right now because I did not do a test run on the settings of my machine while I was going through this whole process, and I know better than that. I'm not so good with a sewing machine to just blindly jump into it and know that everything's okay. I usually have to do a little test strip on some scrap fabric to make sure my stitch settings are accurate. I don't know what I did the last time I was on this machine, but my settings are so bad I ate up this entire bobbin of thread, just completely wasted. Bobbin barf everywhere on the inside of these pants. I will be hiding my shame forever because at least no one will be able to see it because it's inside the pants. But do yourself a favor, save yourself some thread, and like if you're not as used to clocking your settings at a glance to know that they're right or wrong, do a test strip first. I would have figured out pretty quickly that my settings were a little janky and I could have fixed them and I could have saved myself this hassle. But it be what it be, okay? This is the weirdest sensation because I can now feel like the fake seam in between my thighs, and it's really awkward. Um, but it be what it be. They are noticeably less baggy. I already feel better just wearing them as is because I feel like the legs are not as intense as they once were. So I think this might be. I'm just going to call this a success because I got what I wanted out of this exact moment. They are far less baggy. I'm going to have to wear them for a couple of events to see if ultimately I stop tripping over the legs and whatnot while I'm working. And I think I'm just gonna, on my own time, take the other two pairs of pants I have and do a similar thing to shorten them up and make them a little bit less baggy. Um, that's it. I'm bored while I'm house sitting, and this is how I'm passing the time. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a different way that you would have done this temporarily so that you can see if it works. Because if I don't like it, the one thing I really like is that I can just seam rip what I put in and do it a different way. However, if it ends up being in the realm of acceptable when I'm working in it, I think I'm going to seam rip it regardless and then seam rip the original seam because I also just don't like how much bunched up extra fabric exists. There's so much excess fabric in these that I can just move entire sections of the pants, and it's honestly it's just the one size fits all. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It just makes it a little bit awkward when I'm trying to wear them sometimes, and I just want to make them like a little bit more comfortable. So I'm rambling now because I'm bored. Okay, bye.